The first depiction of the dragon was often of a giant serpent. It possessed all the slinky ferociousness of snakes, enough size to become threatening, and was endowed with supernatural feats to up the ante. Serpentine dragons are among the most common in folklore, from the world serpent and nidhogg to the various mythic snakes of Greek, South American, Southeast Asian, and many others. It would be harder to list which don't use snakes in their dragons. And why wouldn't they? The snake is among the most unique animals on our planet, with their neat rows of scales, limblessness, elaborate patterning, and, of course, the venom. Their body plan is a successful one in nature as well, the epitome of efficiency. Despite having no legs, many snakes are fast and athletic. They have no qualms about catching their food, and even some unrelated lizards converge on this body plan, like the glassed lizard, a personal favorite of mine. As you could tell, this is a passionate thing for me, and of course inspired a serpentine dragon of my own. One that writhes deep beneath the earth, carving tunnels as old as time itself. The World Borer. I'm Sawyerly, and welcome back to the Dragonslayer Codex. Throwing in a little book update here, print proofing is underway, ISBNs finally came in, and I am working on the very thrilling financial management side of it all. Business jargon, you know. But that aside, you're here for the dragon, and that you will get. Let's begin. The cavern walls echo with slow drips of water as you shimmy down the slope. Cramped walls open into a massive tubular chamber so expansive that it vanishes into the black. The air hangs heavy in your lungs, and you raise your shield. This tunnel is too smooth to be formed by natural erosion. And soon, your intuition proves right. A humming growl rattles your bones and pebbles fall from a ceiling you cannot see. Pale eyes look your way from the dark. Writhing tendrils react to your perspiration, and gigantic claws create sparks as they strike the ground like matches. You had stumbled into the lair of a world borer, and you better know your facts if you wish to see home. This is a unique dragon, hailing from an ancient lineage who ditched their wings in favor of proper foreclaws. They occupy niches on the earth that many winged dragons cannot fully utilize, and are rather diverse in their speciation. World borer dragons are among the most derived in that they are adapted to a life entirely below ground. Their eyes, as you noted, are milky, pale, and blind. But covering its body are those fleshy tendrils that, packed with sensory organs, can see as well as any eye can. Large nostrils suck in the dank air and for a trace of edible material, which it scoops up in rounded, almost flat teeth. This is a patient dragon that pushes itself around by its foreclaws, the body slinking behind. Its back legs, not needed so deep below ground, have been reduced into simple spurs, said to help with mating. The tail ends in a bristling club. You grin, nervously. You remembered the physical characteristics of this dragon and how it might use them, but you pause. How do these reflect the beast's ecology? What does that mean for me? You have scrawled notes down on a scrap of parchment, copied from the highlights of the Dragonslayer Codex in hopes it would help. But now you realize, in the dark, you can't read them. Large dragons, as a rule, generally don't bother eating lone humans, but in a cave with few other options? A deep hiss once again shakes the walls as it pushes towards you. Ah, the fear of it all struck your memory. Ecologically, a world borer begins life no larger than a garden snake. In fact, their initial discovery was of these juveniles gnawing at the pulpy, nutrient-rich roots of trees that hang above many undercities. As they age, they push deeper below the earth, residing in many huge cave systems that litter this world. Their mouths are crowned by two hooked, beak-like teeth. Similar to beavers and mole rats, these help break apart stone as it tunnels. The huge talons grow continuously throughout its life and must be maintained via digging, or it risks ingrowth much like the tusks of the babirusa. These claws are incredibly sharp and make short work of enemies who might try and prey on this dragon. Their flexible, snake-like bodies are able to launch that dangerous front end towards any threat around it. The teeth and claws are the primary iron deposit in the body, making them all the stronger. Cataloging dragon species in the field is dangerous work, but forming the words to properly communicate your findings is even more important. This even applies to real-life situations. If you have great ideas, why not let Skillshare, today's sponsor, help teach you to put them on paper? Skillshare is the largest online learning community for creatives with thousands of engaging classes led by industry experts across film, illustration, design, freelance, productivity, and more. This winter, I encourage you to go forth and learn a new skill within your field of interest. They even have customized learning paths for you to venture down. It's quite a rabbit hole, and I had a lot of fun adventuring through there myself. The first 500 people to use my link in the description will receive a 1-month free trial of Skillshare. Get started today. Thank you, Skillshare. This is a keystone species, as its tunnels can connect isolated caverns via a highway, which then strengthens biotic interchange between isolated habitats and pushes subterranean evolution into a more active state compared to the quiet caves of Earth. World borers will eat anything in their path, but are especially drawn to large fungal deposits, where the dense organisms offer a calorie-rich way to feed in one sitting. You feel a little relieved knowing that, to some degree, the presence of this beast sliding towards you is beneficial to everything around it. You feel pushed against a stone wall and instinctively reach for the lance strewn on your back. The beast senses that tension and opens its maw, the internal flame illuminating the cavern. Its plated body glints in the light. You had almost forgotten. The world borer is a proficient fire breather and utilizes the gill-like heat fence present on all dragons in a defensive way. When attacked from behind in a tunnel, it spews fire from its exhaust ports and covers the ground, then will usually follow up with a whack from its tail. You don't stand a chance against that by yourself, so you let go of the lance and duck into a small pocket in the rock. Humans live underground, so how do they deal with this beast? Thankfully, the world borer is not actively hostile and prefers its personal space. They may be drawn to the activity of undercities, the fungal farms and smells of civilization. They are treated like natural disasters and must be led away from the town before it approaches. Known tunnels are marked and the dragon-repelling plant white knuckle is strewn up as a defensive maneuver. Large wooden spikes are then placed at the city gates as a last-minute defense. Then, Slayer teams are sent to lead it away with bait and distraction. The goal is to make the city seem more unappealing than it's worth. Then, the world borer will avoid the city and keep smaller world borers away from this territory. World borer presence is important to humans too, however. There exists an ancient, colossal tunnel that acts as a highway between the Peppermint City of Glassbar and the Houndkeeper Fort called Capitol, a road that has endured all of written history. It is littered with outpost shops and bandits, but is one of the only direct lines between two separate cultures present in this world. This same tunnel, and others like it, have paths that descend deep into the dark, to depths none have dared to cross. Down in the unexplored depths, legend says that the truly ancient, mountain-sized dragons slumber in the heart of the world. Thank you to my patrons for making this video possible. Thank you especially to my top patrons listed here. You rock. See you in the next video. Until next time.